Kalau makan 9 pagi, insulin akan naik macam sama dengan 9 malam. Ataupun kalau pergi bersukan 10 malam, sama dengan bersukan 5.30 petang. It's absolutely wrong. We think our body works like how we work and do our duties. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're an engineer, whether you are in a ER driving an ambulance, we think we just work like that. We just think there's a system of rules we follow. Kita isikan orang, we do a diagnosis. It's supposed to be the same diagnosis at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's the same diagnosis at 3 o'clock in the morning. But unfortunately, badan kita tak bekerja macam tu. Time and time, we've been experimenting and seeing with our patients at clinic how do they respond with sugar. And apparently, it clearly shows today with our continuous glucose monitoring, we see the insulin is way higher in the morning compared to at night. So if you choose to have dinner 9.30 malam, 10 malam, peratus insulin yang dikeluarkan tu tak sama dengan something that is happening in the morning. If you were present in my talk yesterday, we talk about the dawn effect, how cortisol pagi-pagi akan melonjak naik. Siapa-siapa yang ada masalah kencing manis, dia tak makan pun malas-malas. Tapi kalau pakai continuous glucose monitoring, dia see that, doctor, I didn't eat anything, tapi sugar saya tiba-tiba dah 6.5. What's happening? Natural sugar release from the liver, like what Dr. Iswaran cerita tadi. We want to look at other hormones beside insulin. So this is where you see the cortisol hormone. 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning kick up. The body is telling you, thanks to our natural environment, body clock activates the system secara natural. You tak boleh lawan tu. You tak boleh kata kat matahari, jangan keluar 5.45. You cannot control this. This is the natural law and our body clock knows it. Whether you travel from here to New York today, you still try to wake up according to this time system. It's not like immediately you get in. That's why we have jet lag. This body clock is the one giving you that impact. So when this rises, cortisol here again is called glucocorticosteroid. Don't think always cortisol is stress hormone, stress hormone, stress hormone. Stress, our body needs this positive and negative stress reaction. But as it goes up, this is your jackpot entry time. Sebab dia tengah bagi you surfing. Dia macam pergi surf lah. If you want to go and surf, you got nice surfboard and everything, but there's no wave. Pacak lah tu dekat tepi pantai. Nothing's gonna happen. You're not using that body's ability to ride that sugar kick. And as day goes down, you see 12, 13, slight dip, then slides down. So if you choose to eat so much of sugar around this time, dia terpaksa buat correction. It starts to go up higher here. So when it goes up higher here, your endpoint will be even further down. So that's when you think like, I got so much energy now. I need to watch one more series on Netflix. I need to watch more TikTok or Facebook or catch up. And then I say that I'm sleeping at 11, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and that's my routine. Do this in out. When the end point is further, start point jadi issue. So this is a vicious cycle. Perpetually doing this over and over again. And yes, we are introducing people to OMAD, 1 meal a day fasting. We're talking about intermittent fasting. But one trick is like, what if we could just do the intermittent fasting, but move the time, shift the time, get into this zone. If you're able to get into the zone, you're going to benefit the wave of the cortisol, because the body is opening up to accept glucose at that time. Whether for people who are on insulin, who are having chronic diabetes, that's a different story. We have to tackle other concerns also. I'm talking to the general public who actually maybe don't have an issue yet, still have the luxury to enjoy carbs sedikit, but not abuse yourself. Don't eat like tambah nasi pagi-pagi contoh banyak. You must anticipate how much of carb you really need for the day. If you just practice for the sake of it, just give you one mangkuk of rice like that, and you are not doing any extreme exercise, you're not doing any physical endurance, kerja macam cangkul tanah or something like that, then you do not need that much of energy. Then you need to see what kind of energy feeling that you really need. Real example, my reading. 1 hour after the meal, this one included one teh tarik also inside. Teh tarik also. I wanted to show that if we could go into certain zones, the sugar doesn't go even beyond 8. This is before meal, 5. 1 hour after meal, 2 hours, and 3 hours after meal. The teh tarik kicked in after that 6.3 lah. What I'm saying is that I'm not advocating you must drink all this 5 glass of teh tarik and everything. But what I'm saying is that if you know how to do these tricks, this is what hacking is all about.